Hello, and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. We're gonna build some more ships. I have finished the entire 1918 roster for all of the nations, except for United States, which is gonna be the nation I will play. So, yeah. We got British battleship, battlecruisers, heavy cruisers, two light cruisers, and similar for all the other ones. Some of them have more ships than others, depending on what kind of hulls they have. Most of the ships are, fairly conventional. Maximum bulkheads, standard quarters, decent protection, flash fire chance, not too high in most cases. Decent armor, reasonable speed. Most of these ships, most of the battleships and battlecruisers, have 13-inch guns or 13 point something inch guns, because these are Mark III. Once you go up to 14-inch, you're gonna go down in Mark. Did you see me build the British ships, or was that the German and French? Yeah, I think it was the German and French ships that I recorded in the previous video. Well, I am kind of happy with the British ones. I think they ended up looking quite good. So the Incomparable class has 13.5s, as does the Vengeance class battleship. The Monarch has 12-inch guns, because it's kind of depicting an older design. And then it's this thing, which is the hull is called Large Light Cruiser, but it is a battle cruiser. So this thing got the 13.5 50 caliber length. It's a bit faster than the other ones, but it doesn't have quite as much armor. The displacement limit on this hull is not the greatest, so it's more of a kind of like a fast glass cannon. There was another nation that had access to this hull. Then we got the heavy cruiser, which I think ended up looking quite handsome. Simple design, ABXY, 9-inch guns. Then we got the older armored cruiser type of heavy cruiser, and this is like, yeah, these are the British ships. I'm not gonna show you all the ships I've made, but it's kind of like in the same ballpark for most nations, with some exceptions. I'm gonna show you those. So, older armored cruiser, kind of slow, a bit more armor than the more modern heavy cruiser. Yeah, 10 inches fore aft main belt. And in this mod, Naval Arms Race, belt armor doesn't weigh as much as deck armor. I thought, since this is kind of depicting an older ship, they would not have put as much emphasis on deck armor as belt armor. And again, in game, early years, belt armor is more important than deck armor, because you're not gonna run into a lot of plunging fire. So, light cruiser, it's got 5-inch guns, or 5.5s, because these are Mark IV, while the 6-inch guns are only Mark III. It's kind of a small light cruiser. By the way, if you want to download these ships, I have shared them in Brother Monroe's Discord, where he has a little subsection devoted to people sharing their Naval Arms Race share designs. and he has compiled all of the designs made by me and others in a huge zip file. I'm gonna put a link to it in the description below. Might not have been updated with my latest ships that I've added, but it shouldn't be long until it is. And it also contains ships by others, but as for my naming convention with my share designs, if it has the SD suffix, it's one of my ships. Now let's take a look at the Chinese ones. So British, of course, Britain, very traditional, very conservative kind of ship design. The Chinese ones, though, here I departed from my my habit of not picking anything lower than Mark III. So this ship has Mark 1 16s. I made them really long because Mark 1s didn't have a lot of range, and also quite a bit of flash fire chance because I didn't put tube powder on it. Again, because tube powder lowers the range, and I figured if it's gonna have 16-inch guns or 16.5s, it should have at least 25-kilometer range. So the other Chinese battleship, made quite a few Chinese battleships. 15.5s, also Mark 1. Also long cordite tube propellant. I'm just showing you the Chinese ones because they depart from my standard. This one has 14s Mark II. They look like Mark 1 turrets, but they are Mark II. And oh yeah, the battlecruiser. I just China doesn't have a lot of access to good battlecruiser hulls, so they just yeah, this is what they got. 12-inch guns, side turrets. I wouldn't say it's a good ship, but it's kind of the best I could design for them. Let's take a look at their heavy cruisers. Decent armored cruiser. Here I went complete opposite of the battleships, where I went a gun size up compared to other nations. Here I went with, let's see, God, let me highlight it, 7-inch guns. And then you got this thing, which is back to big guns, 10-inch guns. What are you whining about now? There's nothing wrong with that tower. Yeah, 10-inch guns. There's one more, yeah. And we go even bigger with 11s. This is classed as a heavy cruiser. Ship is overweight. It shouldn't be. Yeah, sometimes the share designs do this. You're gonna see this when I show you some of the ships I downloaded too. But don't worry about it. The AI will still build it because it is a saved design and it still works in game. But yeah, 11-inch guns. Actually decent armor. I found that in NAR, Naval Arms Race, barbette armor adds a lot of weight. So I tend to go a couple of inches lighter on the barbettes than the rest of the turret, just to save a little bit of weight. There we go. Let's say 10.9 on the conning tower. But it was okay when I saved it. Was this thing a light cruiser? Yeah. And you might think that's a very overgunned light cruiser, 9-inch guns, and yeah, it is. It doesn't have... It has decent armor, 7 inches, but we can go more outrageous than this. No, this is a heavy cruiser. Excuse me, I'm sorry. It's a heavy, not a light. This is a light. It's got 5-inch guns. Pretty conventional. Torpedoes. Found that if you turn these barbettes sideways, they kind of look like they're part of like a whole superstructure. Other than that, not much to say. How about this one though? Here we go. That's the light cruiser I thought we were looking at before. 7-inch guns. Decently big guns for a light cruiser. But what kind of armor did this one have? Yeah, maxes out at 3.5. Not a lot of deck armor. But overall, I would say this is a pretty decent CL. But we can go outrageous. This is, on paper, a light cruiser. But just looking at it, if you didn't know it was a light cruiser, and you just looked at it, and you went, oh, it's got 9-inch guns, ABXY layout. It's top speed of 25 knots. Decent armor belt even. Is it a heavy cruiser? Is it a tiny pocket battle cruiser? No, it's classed as a light. Austria has one that is similar. I thought this was kind of fun to make. So yeah, let's go to 1920 and start building some ships. We're gonna build some more British ones. I already made some. We're gonna make some more. So starting year for the campaign will be 1920, so the AI should have access to all the technology that I have access to here. I found that with my last campaign, starting year 1910, the AI preferred to build my 1908 ships over my 1910 designs. So that's kind of why I went with a lot of 1918 designs. But it might, the AI might build some of the 1920 ships. This one has Mark II 14s. This one has Mark II, Mark I 15s, Mark II. Let's find out. Mark II 15s. Is this a battle cruiser or a battleship? Oh, it is a battleship. Also Mark II 15s. There's a battle cruiser. Yeah, that's also on the large light cruiser hull. Again, 13s. I didn't make them 1350s. But, you know, decently fast. Not a lot of bulkheads. You ran into the weight limit. Something had to be sacrificed. It also has Citadel 3. I found that on this hull there wasn't much of a weight difference between Citadel 4 and 5. But Citadel 3 was quite a bit lighter. And that was just what I needed. What was this one? Yeah. Also Mark II 15s. I think Mark II guns are not as hopeless in Naval Arms Race as they are in the vanilla game. And here's kind of like a hood type of battlecruiser. I had to make it really fat so that the towers would fit. But overall the hull was so sleek to begin with, it's not too bad. Also cordite 2 instead of tube powder to get some more range out of these guns. And they are also longer. I think the base length is 42 calibers. I turn them up to 45. Because base barrel length actually varies by nation. For example, Austria, a lot of their guns are 50 caliber by default. Well, let's design something new. That's what you're here for, not just a show and tell. So got a heavy cruiser and a light cruiser. Not gonna bother with DDs, I think. So this is the heavy cruiser we have. 9-inch guns. There's also this hull. And this thing, which I'm just gonna ignore. Oh, it's not a great tower spotting. Can we make something decent out of this? It's not gonna be fast, I can tell you that much. I'm gonna reduce the bulkheads to save a little bit of weight. Gear turbines. Now, 20.5 funnel capacity for this big triple funnel, taking up all this space. 3 of these is gonna be 19.5. But they're gonna take up less space. Actually, I can put 4 of them in the same space as this one, which is gonna be 26 funnel capacity compared to 20.5. And I think these are also actually going to be lighter. 115 tons each versus 500 tons. Yeah. So don't pick that one. Just do more of these. That's my little lesson for today. Now, main guns. What to go with? We already have our 9-inch gun armed heavy cruiser. Ooh, 1927-inch guns are Mark IV. 14.6 AP range. Reload time 21.3 seconds. Yeah, we're gonna go 7s on this one. Mark IVs. Okay, we're gonna do another heavy cruiser on the heavy cruiser hull, armed with 7-inch guns. After this, can I not pick barbettes for this? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Just have to trick the game. Bit of a forward offset. I can't push these further back, so that will just have to be. Might fix that with the armor. Yeah, 7-inch guns. Mark IV. Very nice. Auxiliary 3, shaft 2. Unbalanced? Let's go balanced. Improve the range. Krupp case hardened. Krupp cemented, I mean. Anti-torp 2 will probably have to do. So Citadel 4 gives the most resistance It also weighs so much. 14, 22, 1420. Citadel 4 is lighter than Citadel 5. Or 13, 934. But it also modifies the armor weight, and I haven't really added a lot of armor yet. So this one is plus 2.5% armor weight. Plus 12% for armor belt. Well, this one has heavier deck armor. This one adds weight to the belt armor. This one doesn't really add any armor weight, just the hull weight. Okay. So yeah, basically it's if you want to see how much weight these actually add, wait until after you've added your armor. I'm gonna go cap ballistic on both. 17.7, which is now gonna get ruined when I flash fire chance is not too bad. Let's go with cordite 2 and TNT 2. TNT 2 also brings flash fire chance down. More so than TNT 3, by the way. 5.3%, that is acceptable. Semi-auto. Electro-hydro. Coincidence, RDF. I like adding RDF to all the AI ships, even though the AI pretty much have built-in RDF by being omniscient. Because sometimes I might get these as allied ships. If I'm allied with either one of the major nations that have built my ships, or maybe they've sold ships to one of the minor nations. Or I might get them as war operations. I typically don't use ships that I take as war operations. I typically don't take war operation ships at all. But if I can get one of the ships I've designed while they are still not outdated, then yeah, I'm gonna do that. So barbette armor, let's go 6 on the barbette. I'm gonna drop the weight down a little bit. 8 on the turret face, 2 on the turret top. Because yeah, deck pen on these. Even at max range is only 0.9 inches. So not amazing. I'm gonna belt pen 10,000 meters, 6 inches. Can I go 8? Yeah. Let's go 9 main belt, 9 turret side, 7 barbette. Okay, we still got some weight left to play with. Like so. Got 200 tons left, almost. Let's take a look at secondary guns. I mean, they fit. They're overweight. Barbette armor is quite a bit high. They don't need more top armor than the main gun turrets. Yeah, let's drop that. That's too silly. Oh yeah, weight difference. 4-inch and 5-inch. It's quite drastic. Put those here. No way that fits. But I guess it does. Again, they don't need more top armor than the main gun turrets. Do I have some weight left now? Secondary guns. Oh yeah, Mark IV 2-inch guns are now Bofors. Ship is overweight. But I remove that. Add this instead. It looks a bit more... looks less out of place. Kind of like to place it better so it doesn't look like it's falling off the side. Guess that's as good as it goes. Let's put some doubles. Okay, good. Good enough. That is the Crescent. Okay, but now we know that we have the Mark IV 7-inch gun. I didn't know that was available in 1920. NAR does change when some of the guns become available. So yeah, we're gonna make another one on the heavy cruiser hull. So kind of a half sister to the St. George class. St. George has many bulkheads, 30 knot top speed, 10 9-inch guns, many bulkheads, 30. Might be able to make it faster if the if the 7-inch guns end up being much lighter. Okay, that won't fit. Does it say if I made it fatter? 12687. Yeah, it must have been made fat. I think it was 2.5. Yes. Yeah, it was 2.5 exactly. I remember now. Let's take a look at the other towers here. That's not too bad. Let's pick one that's not giant. That's 115 engine efficiency. But I do like going with double funnels. Not just for looks, but also for redundancy. So if one funnel gets destroyed, the ship still has one functioning. Okay, main guns, 7s. We're gonna go triples. 337 tons. Okay, 777s are a bit lighter than 9s. They are bigger though, because Mark IV turrets, so it won't fit up here. But that's okay. That's okay. I can turn the range up a bit. Get a better chance of actually encountering it in combat if it has range to go around. Anti-torp 2 will have to do. This one can go with Citadel 5, I think. Still not overweight. Increased AP, standard ratio. Flash fire chance 4.9, acceptable. 5.1 with this one. Yeah, still not overweight. And we have the option to... they're not that overly armored. Let's go 6 and 8. Eight-inch made melt, that works. That works, that works. Because Citadel 5 adds armor weight for the deck, not the belt. Tiny little bit of splinter protection. Four-weight offset though. Yeah, it's 0.2%, it's nothing, really. I could just get it a little bit closer to that other funnel. I don't have a gap there. Okay, none of these are actually smaller than this one. I guess that fits perfectly, but it's too heavy. I'm just gonna have to live with that little gap. Range is very good. It's probably better than it needs to be. I'm actually gonna go with semi-balanced. Unbalanced gives you the best turning rate. It also adds a bit of weight, and it reduces your operational range. But if you're gonna dodge torpedoes, this is the one to pick. The AI is perfectly good at dodging torpedoes, though. It doesn't need any extra help. Can I go 31 knots? Yes, that did not add a lot of weight. Not even 32. How fast can I actually make this? Not 34. 33 seems to be the practical maximum, but it really reduces the range. Let's go 31. And just find something to add on as secondaries. There's not a lot of room here. So we're just gonna have to be 2-inch guns. Yeah, that's good enough. Hawk. Quite a decent looking boat. To say so myself. Anything else? $124 million. I don't think that's too much. I know all the like prices have gone up a lot in 1.4. Big inflation. Light Cruiser 6 already made that one. How about the Scout Cruiser, which is almost identical, just smaller. No, not turbo electric. I was gonna go to gear turbines. There we go. Put that there. Dual barbette tower. Wide refit funnel. 38. $140 full capacity. Yeah, that works. Terpsichore. Standard bulkheads because it's a light cruiser. And this one goes there. I like the look of this barbette because it has like that breakwater thing. Main guns. Yeah, 7-inch. Mark IV is an option also on the light cruiser, but we're not gonna go there. We're gonna go 6-inch. I'm gonna go drop that one. Empty barbette. We're gonna put something there, a secondary of some kind. Now up front here. Is there like one pixel where both will work? Like there, if I put it sideways. Very nice. It does give me a gap between the barbettes and the main tower, but whatever. It don't matter. Let's build the rest of the ship. This one's gonna have balanced for speed. Being a light cruiser, I don't think it's gonna have any problems dodging torpedoes. Let's go Citadel 5. Standard ratio, capped and capped. Oh no, wait, incendiary. Let's go Cordite 2, TNT 2. Very little flash fire chance. 645. I think we can increase that range. I'm gonna give it semi-auto reloader, electro-hydro, coincidence, RDF, Hydro 2, some anti-submarine stuffs. Now, turrets. 1 should be enough. Can I go 6-inch on the main belt? No, I can't. Ship is overweight. I can go 3. It's gonna be quite a lightly armored cruiser. So we're probably gonna go down a bit on turret armor. Guess we can go down to 30 knots. That saved a lot of weight, actually. It was a bit sad, because it's kind of slow for a light cruiser now. But at least it means we can make it a bit more tanky. So you can go up to 6 and 6 on the turrets. .5 inner deck. Like so. Well, these are 45s. I think 12% makes them 50s. That's much more usable range. Now what else to add to this ship? Torpedoes? Quad tubes? Do they fit anywhere? No. How about a deck launcher? A single one. There. .1 kilometer. 20 is a bit much. 19 works. 9.3. Actually, screw the deck launcher. We're gonna add underwater torpedoes. Except maybe not those, because weight offset. These can be made 20-inch. 9.5 kilometer. It gives it a bit of a bite. 2-inch guns. Yeah, no quad Bofors on this. Why won't it fit here? because it's on a tower barbette. It fits on this one. Yeah, no, it just won't fit. That's alright. I think that's our ship. Yeah, we can even go max bulkheads. And not quite max range. But almost. Triple bottom? Yeah, sure. So despite not having a lot of armor, it should be decently survivable. Save the sign. Terpsichore. Okay, that was Britain, 1920. What's next? France. Let's make some eccentric stuff here. Start with a heavy cruiser. That does not fit. This one fits. We're gonna do 20 inch again. 7 inch. Yeah, the boats are being held up by the crane. Not quite. What's this? 28? Can I fit 3 of these? Yes. That's what we're gonna do. So that's 75. 2 of those would be 80. That would be 76. 2 of those. But then you had a gap. Let's see. 30 knots with oil and gear turbines. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, let's see, where does the weight, there we go, 37.1. It shot up. Let's go 35 knots. That's still pretty fast. We can induce the boilers. Oh, we can actually go balanced. It's not great range though. Let's take a look at the other funnel options here. Can I go 3 of these? How about 1 of those? And then 2 of these? Oh. Are these kind of small? Not small enough. How about 1 of those and 1 of these? Or do the other way around? Ah, that one's taller. I think I'm just gonna go 2 of these. And accept the fact that there is a gap. Actually gonna move them back a bit for better balance. Just have the gap up here. You can hardly ever even see it with all the boats in the way. Now, main guns. 7s. 55 caliber base length. I will take that. We're gonna go triples. No, barbettes. We're gonna do that. Still kind of need something in here though. I just wish we had access to better rear tower. This kind of bugs me. Like, yeah, I can pretend that the boats are being held up by the crane, but that leaves me with a gap. I can fill that gap with a quad torpedo launcher though. I can fill it with this. But that is now an empty barbette. I suppose it's not possible to just plonk a single... It is possible to plonk a single 2-inch gun there. I didn't know. Okay. So these barbettes are here just to fill the gap and make it look a bit less silly. I hope you're with me on that. It kind of looks like the superstructure is continuous. Actually, can I fit these there? So yeah, they are anti-aircraft guns. We can just assume that these boats would be hoisted away by the crane if the AA guns would have to go into action. Now we can place some quad torps on the back here. And that gives us a decent basic layout for the ship. So those fit there. I can also put them up here, but that's gonna look silly. They're clearly way too big. But maybe maybe like a double barrel, like so. This one up here looks weird. Singles then, because they actually look like they can fit. Alright. Forward offset now became even worse. but it's not bad enough to be catastrophic, so I'm just gonna ignore it. Now let's go Krupp cemented. Anti-torp 2 we'll have to do. Citadel 5, it's overweight. We can maybe pick up some weight along the way. What kind of range do these have now? 20 kilometers. Let's go Cordite 2, TNT 2. Flash fire chance 4.7. That's acceptable. So up until now we're just adding weight. And especially now as these become 20-inch. I can reduce the... That didn't even save a lot of weight. 989, 936. Well, saved a little bit. Now, if we go light, it reduces the flash fire chance. Super heavy. 17.6, 19.4. I think the range is going to be one of the main advantages of this specific class. Actually, I'm going to remove those and just put some singles there. Can this whole tower be moved back now? I think I actually moved it a little bit. No. Starboard weight offset, no. There we go. But now, yeah, turret armor is a bit excessive. Like so. That's better. Some guns have poor sector of fire. Can you just tell me which guns? Or am I just gonna have to assume it's some of the 2-inch guns that I don't really care about? Now we're gonna go down on bulkheads. Because again, it's a cruiser, not a battleship. 7 main belts is doable. For 2. So that added a bit of weight back again. We're gonna have to go... What does Citadel 4 do to the weight? 14,620. 14,629. Yeah, it is heavier. I can reduce some of this deck layers. Let's go 5 on the fore and aft decks. Because other than at max range, it would be safe from plunging fire from its own guns. I need to save more weight. How about reduced ammo? Didn't do much. I guess we have to go down on speed. 35 knots is very fast. This should be the first place I looked to save weight, but no, it wasn't. There we go. Now we can put some of this weight into armor. At least a little bit. We can up armor the aft deck to help balance it out and pretend it is supporting the torpedoes. Oh, 55s. Should I make these 60s? Let's try and make them 60s. I think that's 8%, yeah? Yeah. 20 kilometer AP range. 18 for the HE. That's quite nice. And it is at once both a very modern looking ship and a very French looking ship. Well, modern in the kind of interwar kind of way. But I think that's it for this episode. Can I find a good look at this? Yeah, probably like that. And if you're interested in getting these ships into your own game, I'm gonna share these with Brother Monroe in his Discord, so he can add them to his ever-growing collection of Naval Arms Race mod shared design ships that will be available for you to download in a link below, if I remember to add it to the description. If I don't, you can just yell at me in the comments. Yeah, I'm thinking that's kind of nice for a 1920s heavy cruiser. Remember to save it this time. And I think that's the end of this episode. I'm gonna go about building more battleships. I'm gonna be kind of the usual thing. A lot like the previous battleships I've built, just with a bit 2 years more of technology research put into them, as they are 1920, not 1918. But apparently it helps the AI to actually build your ships if you build them in many different years. Let's see, what kind of main guns do we have in 1920 again? In Naval Arms Race, we got 18s Mark 1. Still think it's useless. 17 Mark 1, 16 Mark 1, 15 Mark 2, 14 Mark 2, 13 Mark 3. So it's either 13 Mark 3 or 15 Mark 2. Other than saving some weight, there's no advantage to the 14s. And if you're gonna go Mark 1, like really big guns, yeah, 18s are really heavy though. And incredibly slow firing. 100 seconds almost. Well, these are not that much better. 85. I still think for my ships, when I start building my own navy, when the campaign starts. I might just go with 13s until I get 14 Mark 3s. But that's it for today. Goodbye and take care.